This is Gerardo Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the CEO of Orestone Mining, Mr. David Hottman. David, how are you today, sir?
Very good, Gerardo.
Exciting times. Copper is flirting with $3 a pound. Gold is above 1,800, looks like convincingly. And you have commenced drilling on a project that I know you've done a lot of work developing, the Resguardo project in Chile. Initial program of 1,200 meters. Is that accurate in 3 holes?
That's correct. Yes. Yes, we've basically got a big target that is offset from some previous open pit and underground mining. It's a big IP anomaly. We're putting the initial 3 holes down to 400 meters, but we do have 600 meters of casing on site. So if we like what we see, we can push holes deeper, and certainly we're going to be expanding the program on a moment's notice if we really get into something that we like.
Now, the drilling is RC drilling, so I imagine that the results, hopefully if the labs aren't backed up, should come back fairly quickly. I see that you anticipate it to finalize the program here by month end.
Yes, that's correct. The drilling portion will be done by month end, and the assays should start trickling in probably the first week in August. We'll get the first hole back, and then every 4 or 5 days after that until complete. And something that you mentioned at the beginning, I guess, that kind of wraps this all together is with gold over 1,800 and copper flirting with $3. They're both in a bull market, and what better time to drill into a big, huge potential deposit than right now when we're in a bull market.
Agreed. You did quite a bit of work, as I mentioned, to develop these targets. Just before I let you go, Dave, can you explain to everyone why you're so excited about the potential of this project, especially relative to your market cap, right?
Right. Well, as I mentioned, there's a previous mining of oxide copper. It was 1 to 7% copper with a half a gram, 0.5, 0.6 gold. We did a series, or basically a geophysical, an IP program, induced polarization, which indicates that there is a very strong anomaly, or there's metal in the ground that is holding a charge. And also with low resistivity means the metal in the ground is allowing electricity to flow through as well. So we've got a target that's 1.5 kilometers long, so almost a mile long, between 1/4 and 1/2 mile wide for those listeners in the States of yours. So it's a huge target, and it is just offsetting of this surface and underground production. It would be the explanation for the deposition of mineralization that was produced, especially because that mineralization that was produced was in skarns, mantos, and breccias. Now, those are different styles of basically mineral or systems where mineralization is. A skarn is cooked up, juiced up rock. Breccias, a lot of force and liquids flowing around, and the other one, mantos, that's a flat-lying zone that you could have mineralization half a mile away or a mile away, and it comes up through the earth and then it flows down the right rock type. The key to wrap all of that into one sentence is there's a big system with lots of heat and lots of juice and lots of metal floating around to make the type of deposits that were previously mined. So right now we have a huge target that we're drilling. We're well advanced on the first hole, and should end it there without discussing what we're seeing in the first hole.
David, exploration companies that have success with the drill bit are being richly rewarded. You have the right share structure. You have a tiny market cap. I'm looking forward to the assays, and if anything comes up between now and then, you give me a call, okay?
I will. And yes, that's the last point. The market cap is $6 or $7 million. So a big discovery, 50, 100, $200 million market cap's not out of the question. So there's room to move on the upside here very powerfully.
You've done it before. Fingers crossed.
Great. Thank you, Gerardo.